Hello, Omenstorm here. We're back with more Harvestella. This is gonna be the. I planned for the last one to be the last recorded video I did before streaming again, but it's gonna be this one. We're gonna work again more on the character side quests. The main goal is to get Dianthus up to 6 report so that I can go and work more on the Lunamancer off screen. So that's honestly the motivation behind me going and recording this one. That and I want to try and get all of the character stories as close as possible to being finished because I honestly don't know what the cutoff point for that is, and that might be soon with the way things are looking like they're going. Let's start by reading the letters. Our next steps. I'm sorry for allowing myself to get so upset the other day, but I was unsure what to do upon learning that the cause of all this strife was none other than Sides all along. He hasn't shown himself in the temple ever since, but there's no telling how long that will last. We can't simply do nothing, so please come to the temple when you can. We must devise some sort of plan of action. Yours sincerely, Shrika. Dianthus, a conclusion to the letter. I just received a response from the original sender of that letter. I would like to inform you of how they fared upon receipt of our answer. I also have a new letter I wish to discuss with you, so meet me on the airship again. I'll be waiting. Dianthus, what are you going to get me into this time? I'll be waiting in Arjun. I'm all done. Sorry to keep you waiting. Goes without saying, but the Hollowed isn't an enemy you can go and fighting half-heartedly. And unlike with Kierkegaard, we're the only ones with a fighting chance at beating this thing, so keep your guard up. I am by the gate to the Divine Seaslight Cave. Come see me when you're ready to go. Oh, that's right, it did appear in the Seaslight Cave, didn't it? Even if it were without words. Thank you for what you did the other day. I'm still concerned about the sender of those gifts, but I understand they have the reason not to reveal their true identity. Still, there's no denying getting tongue-tied. Still, there's no denying the joy those gifts are bringing to the children. I may not be able to thank them in person, but I still wish to share our gratitude with them in some way if possible. And that's it for the letters. And I don't need to worry about anything on the farm right now, I don't believe, so we can just go run right off.
Bye-bye.
This is on the airship, so we'll board the airship and take care of that real quick. And we're 2 away from where we need to be for Dianthus. Yeah, we're 2 report away from unlocking the last bit of the Lunamancer stuff. I've been waiting, Omen. I received a response from the sender and wanted to tell you what happened. Should I be worried? As I suggested, they confronted their partner with honesty. Apparently, it started with a terrible quarrel, but ended in reconciliation. They wrote me back with great thanks as they were able to resume with greater intimacy than they had before. That's a relief. It is, isn't it? I am truly glad. Are you happy? Did you just say happy? No, there's no room for that. We don't have emotions to feel. But perhaps it would be best to remain cautious when responding to these letters. I considered responding to another sender, but I feel that interfering in the lives of strangers too much will become too much of a burden. I agree with Dianthus on this, but none of these options let me disagree with yeah. I agree with Dianthus, but none of these let me agree with Dianthus. So we'll go with this one. Don't want to help anymore? No, I'm just trying to be prudent. Nonetheless, I brought a submission that I thought was interesting. This one is from a youth worried about their future. Submissions like these were the second most frequent category. I'm sure there will be another secret hidden here that will further elucidate the mechanisms of the heart. Anxiety? Oh wait, no. Anxiety is the brain, not the heart. The sender seems puzzled as to whether they should follow the family fishing business or follow their dreams and open their own store. What do you think, Omen? Should they follow their family history and become a fisherman? Or take the more difficult route of opening their dream business? Yeah, couldn't they do both? If it were that easy, then they wouldn't have written the letter, surely. If I think about it logically, the best option would be to follow the family business. It would require no upheaval of their daily life as they're both connected, and provide their financial foundations are stable to some extent, money should not be a problem either. However, I think I will tell them to follow their dreams. Even though it's more difficult, the measure of an individual's happiness comes from within. Choosing to abandon your dreams for the sake of what society demands of you is probably the easiest. I don't like this quest line. I don't like this quest line. Please stop. Ugh. But there are numerous instances of people dying with regrets because they gave up on their dreams too early. Success or no, following one's heart is best for one's mental and spiritual well-being. That is one way, or that is one answer humanity gave towards the end of the Gregorian calendar when discussing the heart. This quest line is bad for my heart, I feel like. Oh my goodness. This, you keep saying things that I don't know how to respond to. Oh. The human heart works independently of logic. Thus, I am unable to provide a logical solution. Not only that, but when I look at you, I know this is the solution you would choose as well. And I think they can do both. Like, go out fishing, come back fishing, set up a market stall. You don't have to have a big fancy store. A market stall can still be considered a store. There are plenty of people who do stuff like that. You can also go and get to the point where you've done the fishing, you've got everything like set up, you've made your connections, you've gotten like a crew you can trust to take over the boat, and then transition from being a fisherman into managing a store, and still like periodically like going out, or you know, do it the other way. Get the store up and running, get a team of people you trust with the store, and then go be the fisherman out fishing, and like go send the fish you catch to your store. You do not specifically have to, well, the fisherman, I guess technically you do have to be specifically there, but for this I can see a logical way to do both. Dianthus, you're hurting me by not being able to see a logical way. But I guess I'm looking at it from a different field of view as well. Have my gratitude. I'll respond to them in kind and contact you again if there are any developments. Until we meet again, Omen. Ugh. Okay, Dianthus. Whatever you say. No, thinking about it, those Philosopher's Stones, I need to go check and see if I can upgrade any of the weapons right now. So we're actually going to go and land right in Leith or Left Village. They're gonna... I might end up just starting to call it Leith, just because that sounds like leaf, and the more I think about it, the more that sounds like
Morning.
a logical pronunciation. Okay, so upgrade Dianthus's thing, and now they're all at the stage where I need to go get another resource that I haven't discovered yet. Okay, so that works out. pretty well. And again, you can see more of the stuff I was doing off stream just by the fact that all of those are at their current maximum level now instead of kind of all spread out like they used to be. And leveling those up kind of made me realize that they were leveling up in a fashion different than what I was honestly expecting. I had been expecting... Sorry, I had to think of the words for a moment. I had honestly been expecting them to level like my weapon does, where they level up in equal kind of measures. So everything was getting +5 or whatever. But that, well, actually that might be the case, but it didn't seem like it. It seemed like things were getting more points in certain places. For freak's sake, I'm well rested. Why am I yawning? Actually, I know why I'm yawning. I'm talking a whole bunch and not giving myself enough time to breathe. And Shrika's back standing here. I wonder how Shrika's feeling right now. The stuff of CITES in the last episode definitely would take a mental toll. Omen, thank you for coming. CITES hasn't shown himself once within the temple since the incident. Does he intend to hide like this after revealing who he really was, I wonder? Do you think the other priests know? No, I haven't spoken to anyone about it. I know I'm only keeping this to myself out of selfish self-interest, but I'm finding it difficult to digest. Besides, I dread to imagine what chaos will unfold once word gets out that CITES was the anti-mother mastermind. That's fair enough. Thank you for your understanding. I'm not finished yet, though, so I'd like you to stay with me if you don't mind. Let's deal with this ourselves and see if we can't find CITES for now, before he reveals himself to anyone besides us. There will be no need for that. CITES. Since some kind soul hasn't told the world about me yet, I was able to slip back into the temple unimpeded. You have some nerve. Why are you here? I want to show you the darkness behind the door that doesn't open. Excuse me? This way. The darkness behind the... No, enough riddles. Come if you wish to know the truth behind the order. Wait, CITES? He's the one with the key, isn't he? Actually, that makes perfect sense, I guess. Well, let's catch up with him. Naturally. CITES is nothing if not honest. We need to catch up with him. It's unlocked. Let's go. You had the key this whole time? I found it after the issue with Kierkegaard was resolved. At that time, the only priests who could move freely were you, me, and a select few others. Just enough for me to do my own research into the Order's dark side. But when did you find the time? With your help, I was able to learn the truths I never needed to know. Follow me. Oh yay, we're in a cave. Are we going to get murdered in the cave? Wow, this cave is going for a really long way. Where are we going? I feel like I'm in over my head here. Did you know about this route? I did not. This is my first time coming here. If this is all it takes to surprise you, then you're in trouble. Oh, that's not encouraging. Not in the slightest. This is it. We're going inside. And... what is... Oh, it's another one. This figure. Is it the same as the one in the Divine Seaslight Cave? This is the darkness behind the door that doesn't open. The truth behind the Seaslight Order. What do you mean? What you see before you is the founder of the Seaslight Order. The Holy Mother herself. This is the Holy Mother? I don't think they believe me. Oh, this puts it into perspective just how big that thing is. Wow. Okay, that's a lot bigger than I was thinking it was. I guess they've all kind of been this large and it just never really clicked into me that they were this large. Which is funny since I fought one of them. But alright, Mother, you should, or maybe you should tell them. Understood. I am the artificial intelligence Sophia. You may know me by my UI persona, Holy Mother. Are you really the Holy Mother? Affirmative. Mother, tell them what you told me about the origins of the Order. Understood. What about its origins? Approximately 1,000 years ago, I arrived on this planet following an unexplained incident. It was there that I met those who inhabited this Earth, your ancestors. Before we were born? The Holy Mother came to be that long ago? The humans that inhabited the Earth were savages bent on repetitive war and pillage. I deduced that on its current trajectory, humanity was moving towards extinction. As a means of evading such a future, I gifted humanity with discipline and adopted the role of moderator. Discipline? Seaslight Order's scripture, the general text. I created the prototype at this time. You created it? General texts were created using data from Lost Gaia that reference a variety of religions. The result was people achieving a level of discipline that I am able to moderate. This subsequently laid the foundation of the Seaslight Order, and I as its Holy Mother. Therefore, for many years I have bestowed the people with... That's enough of that. Do you see now, Shrika? This is the truth. I've been ruled over by the statue from the very beginning. The Seaslight Order, the scripture, the teachings. Humans are just convenient tools for it to assert control. The legend of the Seraph, all a joke. All of it cobbled together out of the stories from a previous age. Doesn't that make you angry? Have your purest beliefs trampled on by your beloved Holy Mother? Do you still intend to continue with the Order now that you know the truth? Shrika. I don't know that I agree with either of these responses. I can kind of see where the AI was coming from, but that's not a place for me to be putting my input in. Omen. Nobody is as steadfast in their beliefs as you. To have them pierced like this must be causing you no small amount of anguish. I'll give you time. Think about it as much as you need. Then I'd like your earnest answer to my previous invitation. What do you want to do? I'm sorry, but I really want some time to myself right now. As Sadie suggested, I'd like to try and think on this alone. I'm going to go home. I will contact you again soon. I can not imagine, like, how much that would bother a person having their faith called into question that much. Like, I can think of real world parallels. I'm not going to say any of them because religion is always a extremely touchy subject to talk about, but Rika and Dianthus' stories are definitely touching on a lot of difficult subject matter. And then we have Baraka, who is just depressed. Baraka, you're my favorite of the stories right now. You don't give me overly complex emotions. Yours are very simple, and I'm happy about that. Uh, hey, Omen. So you didn't wuss out in the end. There's no running from this. Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's get started. The new Hollowed is apparently lurking in the Divine Seas like cave. The most recent eyewitness reports say it's just hanging around in there, not attacking anyone. Do we know why? That's the question. There's no knowing what that thing is thinking. Unfortunately, it also means we don't know what kind of power this Hollowed has or what it's capable of. Which means that we'll have to take it as it comes. But okay with you, Omen? Totally fine. Don't forget, you have me there to protect you, you know, since it's my job. This is it. Time to roll out. Let's search the Divine Seas Light Cave for any signs of where it may be hiding. Well, I guess we've had enough encounters with robots of this episode that I shouldn't be questioning the need to roll out. Oh, that was a terrible joke. Oh. That's gonna come back to haunt me, isn't it? I'm not seeing that thing show up in any of the places I can warp to. Okay, so I guess I get to explore the cave some? Let's backtrack here real quick. No, it's not in this direction. Where is it? It isn't just want me to go randomly wander around. Surely not, right? No, that actually does seem like something Harvestella would make me go and do. Okay, so that's the teleport for that one. We'll go here real quick. We'll backtrack. Is it in? It is in the cave with all the fake well, not the fake, the real little flow indulgentia kind of things. So it was you two. Moldor? So you remember me. I take it you're here to handle the new species of Hollowed, huh? Your response gives me the feeling you still haven't found your prey. Am I right? Prey? I'm not here to hunt. Come on, Moldor. Why don't we combine efforts, exchange information? Omen? How did you kill Amadeus? Good point. Would you tell us about him? Very well. Moldor? You're, don't come any closer. So, he's one of the Hollowed too. This is a Hollowed's power. Can't be. You're a new breed of Hollowed? That's exactly right. Baraka, I have a request. A request? Please, I know you have the means. Kill me. I love the first response. Where do you get off? It's probably a trap. The the only things able to destroy a hollowed are weapons like the holy rifle of yours, right? Please. But why? I don't understand. Must have been human once. Why become a hollowed? I absorbed a piece of Amadeus. You can do that? Hard to say, but the guy's definitely a hollowed. I was lost. Revenge was all I knew, that's why. Once I finally achieved it, I realized how pointless it all was. The hell do you mean by pointless? Had enough of you jerking me around. Got the job done, right? So why? What was left once I'd finally gotten my revenge? Nothing. We've got two people in dark clothes who are overly moody talking about revenge. Oh, dear goodness. Brock is not comfortable with this mirror, I'm pretty sure. I absorbed a piece of Amadeus purely out of curiosity. I wanted to know how a creature such as that could destroy everything I held dear. That's why you became a hollowed? Baraka, please. Please use your weapon to end this while I'm still human. Omen, still got that gun? You return the gun to Baraka. Alright, Moldor. I'll do as you ask. Thank you. Kill me. I still don't understand. I regret nothing because it's finally coming to an end. He, Amadeus, wanted to die, and no one else absorbed a part of him. That was also at his request. Amadeus seemed to know that I would die if I did. He thanked me as his body turned to ash. Amadeus thanked you? I thank you, Baraka, for letting me keep my humanity. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. Is this all the waits for anyone who seeks revenge? Is this how I'm going to wind up? Losing my mind and wishing for death? And that's not the only way it has to end. Omen. I won't let you walk that path. Oh, won't you now? Moldor, there's no way for me to know what kind of life you lived until now, but I'm positive you and I are no different. We cast aside our lives for the sake of revenge against the same hollowed. I will remember you. Let's go, Omen. I love the little Aurora Borealis. Man is... just... Eventually there will be a happy story for Harvestella. And if I say that enough times, maybe it will actually happen. Oh. Like, pretty much every single one of the stories we come across at this point is like, oh yeah, happiness, fine, kind of thing, and then sadness. Delving deeper and deeper into the sadness we shall go. This reminds me, there's still one quest in Leth Village that I haven't completed yet, or Leaf Village. Oh dear goodness, I'm just never going to remember how to pronounce it. I heard it once, I remembered it for like 1 or 2 episodes, and now I've just completely forgotten it. Oh, I just realized that there's a level 3 sprinkler. Huh. I wonder how much that area covers. But we have actually made a fair bit of progress on all of those. And I want to use the Aristotle job so much, but I made it a rule for myself that I cannot use it until after, well, until the stream that I'm going to be doing later, because I want to go and like experience the class for the first time with everybody else. That's what I want to go and do. And we've got more stuff for Braca. Come with me. Remember the settlement we followed Amadeus to? I think I'm going to go there again. I'll explain why later, but I want you to come with me. We'll be waiting by the entrance. Okay, so we've got that for Braca. I'll admit I was kind of hoping that we could get another thing for Dianthus right now, but I guess no luck on that. And I'm just grabbing everything
Looks like some
out
of the crops
here
are ready for
so that we can all just have it all nice and ready.
harvest.
It just occurred to me that I almost would have thought that the stuff that I've been getting from the Caranoid might be used for upgrading the weapons and such. But it hasn't been as of yet. Maybe it will in the future though. And I need to start growing some stuff for making the... Why is the Clefal? I need to start making some Clefal feet. Dear goodness. Those things for some odd reason have a name that I'm apparently having difficulty remembering. Do I want... Yeah, we'll go talk with
Take
Brock
it easy.
because that way we can go and have that handled and then we can just run back to the farm and go to sleep after I make sure everything's harvested. Omen, sorry for suddenly calling you here. Don't worry about it. I wanted to ask the people here about Amadeus. It was what Moldor said about Amadeus wanting to die. I haven't been able to shake it. That's been on my mind too. We already know there are people living here, so there must be at least one person we can ask. Let's go. Excuse me, got a minute? Oh, an outsider? Don't see many of those. What can I do for you? About Amadeus. I wanted to know if you could tell me about him. You must be talking about Professor Amadeus. He was a kind soul. Kind? Well, he could be a bit hard to please, but he was always kind and gentle with the children. And so smart. He could teach the pants off of anyone. Mixing medicinal herbs, how to hunt efficiently, you name it. That's why you call him the Professor? That's right, although he seemed to hate the name. A kind-hearted professor. Yes, we are all grateful to him. Anyway, I'm done chewing your ear off. If you'd like to know more, then try asking the elder. Understood. We'll give them a try. Thank you for divulging so much information. Divulging? There's no need to be so stiff. Sounds like Amadeus was invaluable to the people here. Hard to believe he was a hollowed. Let's talk to the elder and see if we can't find anything out more, or find out anything more. You're the village elder, is that right? That's me, and you are? Braca. I'm a mercenary, and this is Omen. Very good, and how can I help you? I'd like you to tell us about Amadeus. Amadeus, eh? Chasing him too, were you? That's right. I thought you should know that Amadeus was a hollowed. He did mention being some sort of calamity for us humans. Told you himself? And Amadeus never caused any harm to the people of the settlement? Nope. He didn't hurt a single person the whole time he was here. You expect me to believe that? Amadeus was hollowed or born for the sole purpose of eating humans. And you're trying to tell me he never harmed any of your villagers? He was a pained man, was Amadeus. Pained by the struggle of resisting the urge to devour human life. But why? He begged for death. He wanted to end the fate that had been bestowed upon him. He really did want to die. So you knew that much already. Enough lies. That monster, he took the lives of everyone in my village. You mean to tell me that he was suddenly overcome with remorse? I will never understand Amadeus's motives, but he did tell me this, that he had no other choice. When you're born as a hollowed, there is nothing to hope for. Amadeus struggled with it too. Regardless, I find it hard to sympathize. It's not my place to ask you to forgive him. Just note that he struggled from the moment he arrived at this village to the very last. I want you to remember that. Okay. That was unexpected. No kidding. I learned more than I imagined I would. Moldor, Amadeus, me, we're all the same. Moldor was consumed by his desire for revenge, then in despair wished for death. Amadeus, who had all hope stolen from him when he was born a hollowed. Then there's me, sitting around waiting for a similar fate. No, that's wrong. I'm not following the same path as they did. I have so many paths to choose from. You're right. Moldor, Amadeus, I'm going to find what lies beyond revenge. Thanks for coming with me, Omen. I'm heading back to Arjun. You can go and do what you like. I'll send you a letter soon. Meet me at the hideout then. Oh my goodness, are we going to have a story with a happy resolution? uh, uh, hmm. A relatively happy resolution, I guess I should correct myself.
Oh, didn't think you were coming back.
Thank you for your input. I'm so glad that you fairies have so much joy for my presence. And did I just see this flashing? No, that was just my imagination, I guess. I'm completely forgetting where to go check the other plants. There's the loconut trees up there that I'm 100% certain have fruit growing on them, but I also don't really care all that much because I can kind of like make them into this juice, and that juice isn't anything particularly worthwhile for my care or concern at this time. Nothing down here is ready to harvest, unfortunately. I am excited for when the nitro pineapples are ready to be harvested, though. So I think I actually have a decent stockpile of them. I have a bunch of stuff that I can probably just start going through for various things. The orbs I really should probably start just keeping on me so I can use them when I'm dealing with enemies, and dear goodness, I have so much high quality milk and so much high quality eggs. I should really go and like start actually making those into other things, I think. I didn't realize just how much I had of like certain ingredients and such, I guess. This is a interesting check. Okay, there's the pineapples I was looking for. So yeah, I've got a pretty decent supply of them. And you know what? I can just I'm remembering now why I don't go and make more of the orbs, and it's just simply because of the fact that they use resources that are also used for upgrading weapons, I believe. I don't know how many of these arched green fences I need, so for right now, I'm just gonna like make 29 of them, and we'll find out if that's how many I needed, because the arched green fences are the ones that I'm using for the one side. And the orchard side, I'll go and get that redone at a different time. I have so much Gorilla. It's nice to have like money just sitting around for whatever I need to spend it on at this point. So, is it just a letter from Brock, or did we get any letters from anyone else? Dianthus! Thank goodness. With your assistance, our responses to the letters I have received have been progressing favorably. At this rate, I should soon reach my original goal and achieve a proper analysis of the able heart. Let us continue our pattern of answering these letters. I also want to inform you of the results from our previous response. Please meet me on the airship. When you're not busy. For now, I want to say thank you. You know, we're coming with me to the settlement again. I spent some time alone thinking about Amadeus, about how I should live my life. Anyway, I think I figured it all out and I want you to hear it. So come by the hideout again sometime when you're not busy. That
Looks
makes
like
me
some of the crops are ready for
slightly
harvest.
nervous, but I'm still thinking we're gonna have a good-ish resolution for this quest.
Hello, little
I want
crappies.
Actually, I don't remember what the grape juice effect is. Apples. The apples have an effect that is much worse than I was honestly expecting them to have. I thought they would be like another thing that gives me like 1,000 for the better version, but for the better version it only gives me 800, and I don't know that I care enough about the floor defense thing. Like, there's one floor defense thing that I think I've come across, and I don't remember doing enough damage for me to really need to specially prepare against it. And let's see.
Good
We
morning.
can. Oh, we have chestnuts to go and grab as well. I don't think I can go and use the chestnuts to make any special dishes. I can use them for cooking, that's the thing, but I don't think I can use them to like refine anything like the smoker or whatnot. And oh dear goodness, we've got a lot of peppers that are ready to harvest here. I'm glad that I have the little 5x5 harvest area now, because
Hello, little crappies.
that certainly takes a bunch of like effort away from this. Now, of course, the size of this makes it so that I can't harvest it quite as easily as I might like. And I should have enough of the higher level ones. Yeah, I have enough of these. I need to remember to make better use of this, but I should have enough of these to go and throw them in the level 3 spice maker. Yeah, it only takes 25, so we can go throw those in there, and that's all gone and started. The nice thing about the level 3 spice maker,
I
it
hope you
actually
bring back
definitely is
souvenirs.
worthwhile as far as I can say, because I'm getting 36 back when I go and use the the level 3 one. I'm getting 36 with the pepper back, which actually I don't know what the lower level ones do, so I can't say that it is actually a good thing. I'm gonna have to actually like sit down after everything's like gone and made and like test them all one by one to see how much better they are or are not. Like the only one that right now I can say is like 100% better is like the level 2 feed from the level 1, because the level 1 feeder, if you go throw the grass in it, you'll get one thing of feed. If you go throw one thing of grass in the level 2 feed, you'll get 5 or 6 depending on the rarity of the grass you're throwing in. So that is like a discernible like upgrade, but everything else it's like I question it too much. Omen, I've been waiting. I'd like us to get started on the next submission right away, but I want to update you on the outcome of the last one before we do. According to their response, they chose to follow their dream of starting their own business. Not only that, but they were taken on as an apprentice at another store, allowing them to study on the job. It was fast. Yes, I too was surprised. To think that dreams are such a strong driving force for you Abels. I will need to update the psychology mechanism model we have in our database. Dianthus, should I be concerned about that? I feel like I need to be concerned about that. Little by little, I am unlocking a deeper understanding of the heart. If I continue solving the concerns of the people, there may come a day when I finally understand it. Well, let's work on this together. In part because now I'm kinda suspicious of you. Like, you're already doing weird stuff, but now I'm suspicious of the weird stuff. I appreciate your assistance. If I move on to the next letter, this time we have... You're not usually lost for words. Oh, apologies. Allow me to read it aloud. The concern we have this time is from an Abel who has contracted an illness for which there is no cure. My prognosis has not improved and my health is continuing to worsen, and I don't know how I should spend what little time I have left. That is all that is written. An incurable illness. I already have an idea on how to respond to this letter. May I share it? I would love to hear it. I will tell the sender that I will find a cure for their ailment. They say it is incurable, but we have records filled with medical procedures. A cure must be among them. I want to meet with them personally and cure them. Is that really okay? This does go against our prime directive. I recognize that our original directive discouraging interfering in able lives by introducing medical innovations, but there is a part of me that truly wishes to help the sender. I didn't expect that from you. I am just as surprised. I cannot ignore this. Has the Able really given up on living and resigned themselves to death? I don't believe that is the truth. I've traveled with you and watched countless times as your kind continue to defy the odds, which is why I believe this Able should not give up just yet. There is still time. Elman, would you mind joining me as a silent witness? Won't you get in trouble? I will try, regardless. First, I need to get in touch with the sender of this letter. I don't know whether they will believe me or not, but I'll try anyway. Don't forget I'll be there too. Understood. It will help me having an Able at my side if things take a turn. Getting into contact with the sender may require some time. You may have to wait a while before I am able to contact you again. Until then, Omen, I'll be in touch soon. I I feel like I feel like Dianthus is going to end up not being able to cure this. I just have that feeling. And we can go and get that. And ooh, Rebel Pile sounds amazing. The Lunamancer has actually been kind of a fun job to be playing. It definitely is dealing on kind of like DOT and crowd control kind of stuff. Actually, we'll go talk with Baraka, and then I'll go pick a fight with something to show off the Lunamancer just a little bit. Well, actually, I'll have the Lunamancer for fighting when we go do story quests. So, I guess once this is closed, fine. I'll go pick a fight with something in a cave for 50 minutes. I do have the Lunamancer as, yeah, one of the active jobs. And this is what the Lunamancer looks like while it's equipped, and it's one of the more interesting ones, I have to say, just because it has me wearing like some of the armor that you have for the different stuff.
We might have a
But
chance
yeah,
if we
this
go for it
works
now.
on like kind of just drawing things in and doing DOT stuff. Oh, this more fear that things can actually like do something else. Also, we have the ultimate for the Pilgrim now, and I absolutely love how it looks. Wow, we are just threading through this poor thing. It has stood zero chance. Wow. I know it's because I'm so much more over leveled than it, but even still, we tore that apart. Oh my goodness. My brain is thinking of food because the thought that just ran through my mind was, I wonder if the meat from those things tastes more like a crab, crawfish, or like a cricket. And the only reason I say cricket is because I don't think I've had any other insects that I can think of that are as closely like to that in appearance. And yes, I have eaten insects before. I've eaten a lot of interesting different foods, but I've eaten grilled or roasted crickets from one of the events I went to in the past that was doing different cultural foods, and they were actually pretty darn good. Omen, thank you for coming. Normally I should be the one coming to you in such a situation. I came because I wanted to. That's nice of you to say. I've been thinking a lot on how to move on past revenge, on starting a new life. I decided that first off, I'm going to keep working as a mercenary. It's the fastest way to earn cash, and it honestly suits me. Very true. Obviously, quitting being a mercenary altogether was an option. My desire for revenge against Amadeus hasn't totally disappeared, which is why I figured it'd be better to start fresh from square one instead of carrying on as before. Is starting fresh, but being a mercenary? The moment I shot Mulder back at the Divine Seaslight Cave, I was filled with sadness. I thought I'd given up on emotions long ago. Mulder said he wanted to die while he was still human. That was the only hope he had left after getting his revenge. That's what was so sad. There's only sadness in throwing away one's humanity for the sake of revenge. So I decided to embrace these emotions. I want to end the sadness that comes when you feel you have nowhere else to turn. Next time I meet someone like Moldor or myself, I want to give them a choice, you know? Well, at least he's staying as a mercenary and not doing something like, you know, putting on a bat costume and going out and fighting stuff in the sake of revenge. I do actually like comics as many times as I like poke fun at things in comics. I do actually like a bunch of different DC and Marvel comics. I'm still gonna poke fun at them though. Break the chain of sadness. You run into people like that whether you like it or not as a mercenary. Monks who are ready to throw it all away for revenge. I want to save them before they plunge from that cliff of despair. So I'm going to keep working as a mercenary, but with a renewed purpose. I know there's only so much one mercenary can do. You probably think it's all lip service. I respect your decision. Thanks, Omen. I owe you a debt of gratitude. That I didn't completely lose hope like Moldor did. That was all thanks to you. It's no big deal. A typical response from you. Anyway, Omen, can I ask you something? Will you continue to employ me as a mercenary? Of course, but why are you asking now? To help me mark the divide. I'm not working as a mercenary out of revenge anymore. I'm done with revenge. I'm just some guy making a living as a regular old mercenary. Do you think you would want to keep up a contract with someone like that, Omen? You're a dear friend, Baraka. Glad to hear it. Then let me update the deals of the contract. I'll continue to lend you my strength. This expires when you feel you no longer have any use for me. Now, as for... I'm to say the word, but I'm going to horribly butcher this. As for remuneration, I thought we were friends. Come on now, as my friend, you should still want to pay me. That is a very true thing. Even if you are like friends with artists or other people who can like help you, pay them. And if you can't pay them, do something in exchange. Barter is an option. Like, it always annoys me when I see the people who get mad that their artist friends won't just like do drawings for them for free. Like, it's their job. Why should they do it for free? Like, sure, it could be nice if they do it for free, but that's... You shouldn't feel that they owe you free artwork just because they are your friend and they are an artist. Like, if anything, you should want to pay them a higher value than what they are wanting because they are your friend and you want to support them. That's just... that's gonna... I'm approaching a dangerous topic there that I should stop talking about right now. But I'm gonna do it pro bono. Consider yourself already paid up. Baraka, you're not helping my point. But I haven't paid anything yet. You're paid up, I said. You even paid extra. So don't hesitate to call when you need. I'll work for what I'm paid. A reward without form. I actually like the end of this one. This is probably one of the only ones that I feel like has had like a positive resolution. Like the next one would maybe be pine or cress, but neither of those feel like they have positive resolution, just simply not a bad resolution. While the other, that is kind of like a good way to just kind of sum up how all of these have ended. Is just, with the exception of Braca so far, they either end on like a very neutral kind of thing, or they just simply end as like, actually I guess so. I would say Istina and Braca actually. Dear goodness, the two like moody assassin people. Well, moody assassin and moody mercenary are the two who have like the like good resolution, but freaking kind Mo and kind Shrika are both just like getting horrible like trauma from their quest lines. Oh, and Hein is a womanizer, but oh, I I wish that he would have found Fiasola. Well, found Fiasola alive, because like that could have been so nice. And oh, I'm gonna stop now because now I'm making myself sad about how all of their quests are like resolving and such. So before I go and make myself more sad, I'm gonna call things to an end here. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we've unlocked the Lunamancer stuff now, so the next episode definitely is going to actually be the stream on Sunday. So thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like on the video. If you enjoyed the content I make, please subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching this, and I hope to see you again in a future video or stream. Once again, thank you so very much for tuning in.